This house is set in a house on a hill in San Francisco. It's a sanctuary. It's this cloister that this family lives in. In fact, some early design sketches I've seen planning, and I've built in a story about the loss of a son earlier on. So her planning the loss gets planted into this garden. So you have this sort of cacti, which becomes a metaphor for, I don't want to, whatever you find in the play. I mean, I have what I intend, but I usually keep that pretty close to myself, and I put it out there for the audience. But these are the tools that I throw into the environment that then help me create sort of a context where I've got sanctuary, I've got garden, I've got a desert garden that reflects loss, and actually in the story that I build, one of the places to bring the two families together is identification through loss. So it's not some sort of epiphany, like some sort of a racial thing. That's false. It's phony. It's not how people come together. But they both have had losses in their life. They lost a son. The doctor lost a son, and that's one of the things that bring these two families together. In my approach to the story. So.
And when you're writing, because I know you guys have to go out and cast and all this, but when you're writing, do you see actors in that part? Or do you try to, and I know you never want to say, oh, I wrote this part for so-and-so, but, just to vivid, just to be able to see how far you can stretch a character, do you kind of have a person in mind when you're writing?
Sometimes. Sometimes. And there's I have a pocket full of, actors I've admired for years that I want to work with one day. So for instance, I can share with you one of the actors, and he's well known in the theater community, but an actor named John Cullum, who's an older actor, and I'm a big fan. So I've written 3 roles for Mr. Cullum. So
where's he from?
Huh?
Where's he from? Is he out of Atlanta? Or?
No, he's in New York. He's
somebody you want to work with.
Yeah, I've never met him.
He was on Northern Exposure, right?
Yeah, he was on Northern Exposure. I saw him do a touring production of Man of La Mancha, which is when I was like 20 years old, and just had to scrape together the $32 for that matinee ticket, and that performance is when I fell in love with the actor. And then he had the TV show, and he does a lot of he shows up on Broadway, a lot of musical theater, but he's a great dramatic actor, and I love these older characters. I've been writing old men since I was 19, so it's.
Are you able to just go and watch a play? Because I'm like that with movies, because I guess because I review and critique, I have to I can't go see it on opening night because then I want to talk about it. Like the Secret Life of Bees, I've been looking. I gotta go see it. I'm gonna go see it after this. I'm just gonna sit, and I have to say, don't critique it, just watch it. Can you just sit in the theater and watch a play? Being a playwright?
No.
What goes through your mind? And he said, no, he can't just watch.
Yeah, and I would love to. Actually, that's one of it's actually why I have. I'll answer this in a roundabout way. I have a great passion for music. I love music, but I know almost nothing technically about music. So even as I've begun, I'm working on a couple of musical projects now, and I'm working with composers, and I can express musical ideas that I think I understand, but they'll be like, well, Todd, what you're talking about is syncopation, where we put in the melody line here, and I'm like, whatever that is, I don't know. I don't have to tell you what, because I want to put on, I want to put on Dinah Washington, or I want to put on, Madeleine Peyrou, or whoever I'm listening to. I just want to get lost in that interpretation of the lyric and how, color the tone. So, so that I'm free from that. So I find even films now. In fact, my wife tells me that I've ruined film watching for her because she's like, I know what's going to happen. It's like this. You see it. The films are built more mechanistically, and as the more I'm exploring film world, I understand why that is. So it's not a criticism. It's just there's a tighter mechanism by the way that the story unfolds. So it's pretty easy, at least on a Hollywood conventional film, to find all the clues because they're built like machines. So it's like my car. I turn it on. I don't know anything other about the car than that. But mechanics will say, well, this is in your catalytic converter and this, and it's all a kind of mystery. So if you begin to look under the hood of these things, you look through and you're like, okay.
My kids are like that when listening to radio. I'm going, Dad, come on, it's time to break. Come on, just listen. But you're gonna say something.
You said you know why they use this formula. So what's your opinion? Or you just know for a fact why they use the formulaic method of writing movies? My thinking is because the audience has an expectation, and so it's easier for the audience to kind of follow. But at the same time, they have the twists and turns and stuff like that. So what's your opinion of what is it?
Well, first of all, I don't think that there's one formula, and I don't mean to suggest I have a handle on. I'm somehow omnipotent, all-knowing. Bless you. about it. I mean, I know the craft, and I'm of the school. You can never learn enough craft. So I'm always, I learned that. I worked for many years with August Wilson, who taught me that. And he was always on the search. I mean, I watched a master on this form complete the last 3 plays of the cycle, which are the ones I worked on with him.
Or you just tell everybody, anybody who doesn't know, and I'll get on them for not knowing.
I was going to say, please, come on, this is, if you know Arthur Miller, if you know Eugene O'Neill, then you must know August Wilson.
My first play, stage play, I just want to interject this up.
I
told you, my first stage play was Fences. So
that is my favorite, my absolute favorite.
Yeah, you got to know August Wilson.
Oh, we should probably do that scene. We should do that.
Yeah.
I always wanted to be in Fences. Fences, and you can agree that Fences is our neighborhood, our story. Fences, that's good. I said that enough on podcast.
Well, you're from Carl.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So you gonna try to say I was over? Okay.
Yeah, you on a nice place.
Which is literally the story of Fences. I mean, okay.
That was the life. I mean, Fences, like you said, Fences was like your neighborhood in a sense. But I mean, we were on 2 different sides.
Only thing separated us was a creek. It wasn't a track. It was a creek. Okay.
There was a brick wall.
It was not a wall.
A brick wall. 2000. But we're talking about a neighborhood, though, y'all.
Oh, now you're gonna put
nothing about that.
We come to say that.
Okay.